Good morning. How are you guys? Man, we got an amazing another. Hey, shut that off button. We have another amazing fun-filled night. Welcome to Ags Fearless. Hold on, let me shut that off. Unfortunately, ladies and gents, I cannot preset this up before we get started. So sorry about that. Yeah, we just gotta kind of roll with it. Anyway, how are you? Make sure my mic is on. Remember a few other times that we started off, my microphone was off. I'm sitting there just talking. All right. How are you guys, though, man? I think somebody sent me something. Okay. How's everything going? All right. So before we get started, I wanted to give you guys a hello, Jessica. How are you, ma'am? Rebecca, how are you, dear? Thank you. So I need to tell you guys something. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this jacket, and I appreciate. She said it's noise. Thank you. Um, the reason why I'm wearing it is because I have yet to shower, and my son told me when I took him to his concert tonight. I put my arm around him, said, "Son, you did a great job." He said, "Dad, you stink." I said, "Okay." He said, "I'm just saying because," he said, "with me, you tell me all the time. I'm telling you, Dad, you stink." I said, "All right, I'm gonna have to take that one on the chin." Uh, yes, it is. So to get back at him for his insolence, I put on his jacket to hide my stink. And then when I'm done, I'm gonna go hop in the shower. Again, I would have done it beforehand, but I would have been late. So, do you hear that cricket sound? You probably don't. Oh, please. All right, I'm back. Hold on. So, anyway, so I had to let the individual know, in case my case of point, my son. Yeah, like thanks a lot, son. So, you know, but again, he was right because I'm quick to tell my kid that he stinks. Quick to tell him. So, yeah, sorry, my fault. Well, it's not my fault because if you stink, you stink. So, as soon as I'm done here, I'm hopping in the shower. But I don't want to be late for this. So, so there's that. How you guys doing? How you been? We had a. I'm waiting for you guys to respond to, but so this morning we had our myself and Brian, my buddy from Trial and Error podcast. We did our podcast this morning, and man, we talked about some amazing stuff. And one of the things we're going to talk about today is the 6 simple steps to fill in those confidence gaps. And I'm not sure exactly um, who was talking to me about confidence. Actually, hold on. Actually, that was you, Rebecca. You were the one talking about confidence. So I wrote this. I didn't know who it was. I'm looking at my notes. I didn't know who it was today or who had brought it up. But during our Q&A, we had talked about, okay, what do you guys want to learn about? What do you want me to create? What do you guys want me to create shows about? Topics. And Rebecca, you had said something about confidence, so I wrote that down and I created something. Is that Jerry there with the Thurman Firefighters Association? The TFA? Is that who that is? Identify yourself, Jerry. Hey, what's going on, Angie? Says you're on the wrong Facebook account. I love it. But either way, Rebecca was talking about it, and I said, you know what, man, that's a good idea. So so we were talking about that today, and I said, man, you know what, I should do something on that. So I created a whole entire presentation on on that. So hopefully you guys are cool with it. Hopefully you like it. I got some good stuff in there, a bunch of questions. Like like always, you know how we do. Um, yeah. So let's jump in and get started. So my name is Fearless Cummings. I have been coaching for about 23 years. I attended the Meta Institute, where I have a bunch of certifications in neurolinguistic programming, therapeutic coaching, master practitioner, hypnotherapist. Yes, that is real. Um, as well as mindful certification, cognitive behavioral therapy certification. I have certifications in everything. And so there you go. And thank you, Angie, because Angie's the one who's like, please tell people what your qualifications are and all that stuff. I mean, whatever. She thinks you need it, so I'll oblige. As we get started, ladies and gentlemen, clap for yourselves. Clap for yourselves. Hey, Renita, my personal mad scientist. Clap for yourselves before we get started. One of the things that I talked to my buddy about today, I said, we clap for a few different reasons. Number one, we clap for ourselves. Number two, we clap for each other. And number three, we clap for showing up. Because that's the one thing that most people will not do when they have a dream goal or aspiration, or hell, even a problem. They won't show up to solve it, and they're not going to show up to go get it. Their dreams, that is. without even without even putting a foot in front of the other to go make it happen. So the one thing that I tell people is that I have over 4,000. I think I have like 4,500 friends on Facebook. 4,500. And only 1% shows up to this. What? Not 5%, not 10%, not 20%. 1% will actually show up. I showed up. You showed up. Right? So let's get to work, right? Sorry about that. To keep clearing my throat. Give me a second. So anyhow, hey, what's going on, Christopher? Hey, Jerry. And so let me go into our warning, right? So here's the thing. Hold on, let me make sure this is actually it. Nope, that's not. Okay, so in our channel, welcome to Axe Fearless. In this channel, your beliefs will be challenged, your values will be examined, your morals and excuses will, and even your thinking will be put on trial, including mine. We don't do surface talk here. We go deep. We talk about our dreams, our goals, our aspirations, the pain that we have, the patterns that we keep coming up with. We talk about our excuses. We talk about the things that's holding us back, the people we think that are holding us back, the stories that we use to hold us back. We go deep into stuff. This channel is not for the faint of hearts. It is not for the fragile. This is for people that are open, honest, and ready for transformation. So if taking accountability, responsibility, ownership over your life is not for you, I would ask simply that you do not like, don't follow, don't share, don't subscribe. Matter of fact, I don't even want people knowing that you've heard of me. That's how serious we are. Okay? But if you're willing to do the work, take some accountability, expand your thinking, pull up a seat, and welcome to Axe Fearless. What do you guys think about that? I love that one. I love that. And don't forget, for those of you who are new, Jerry and Rebecca have something for you, just in case you're not really here to work out your problems. Go ahead and give it to them, guys. So tonight we are talking about the 6 simple steps to fill in that confidence gap. What are we talking about? We Here's the thing. We all have this thing. This We all have a certain amount of confidence. But when it comes to our dreams, goals, aspirations, and sometimes problems, there's certain parts that are missing. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of fill in some of those gaps to kind of to get you from where you are to where you're going. Right now, before we were talking about informational gaps or educational gaps, which is when you have an idea that you want to do something but you don't know what to do. We talked about that, and we can always recap on that too. But today, what we're talking about is that confidence. How is it that we have confidence in some things, but we don't have it in others? I was talking to a friend of mine today, and we went into great detail on that. On talking about why does she have confidence? How does she have boundaries with everybody else in her life, but she doesn't when it comes to work? She doesn't when it comes to her best friends. She doesn't at all. And we really just kind of sat down and talked about that, right? And then next thing you know, she actually went to the person. Remember, because we talked about exit, which is to leave a situation, voice, which is to say something, look, stay loyal to a situation or a person or an idea, or V, which was um N, which is neglect, or just ignore it for what it is. But then there's 2 other ones that I gave you guys too. The C was um consequences, because there's a consequence in everything we do, good, bad, or indifferent. But then the other one was think before you act. Think before you choose one of these things, because there's a consequence that comes with it, right? So she and we talked about the consequences today. I mean, a real conversation about them. She got off the phone. She called these people up, talked about it, and guess what? Felt a lot better just getting it off her chest. Sometimes that's really what you need is that information just to get it out. All right, so here, let's hurry up. And so, what don't I do versus what do I do? I'm not here to motivate you because you don't need motivation. I'm not here to coddle or sugarcoat anything. Number 3, I can't want your dream more than you do, because if I do the work, then I get the credit. Okay? If it's your dream, why am I doing it? Right? Number 4, I'm not here to fix you because you're not broke. Bent, scraped, scratched, pushed, dinged, maybe. Broke, not at all. But what am I here to do? I'm here to do 2 things. Number 1, I'm here to take you from what to how. From what to how. Most of the problems that we have are based in what. What happened? What's going on? Not how can we switch this around? How can we learn from this? It's not the what, it's the how that keeps you where you are. So my job as a reframing expert, as a life coach, is to focus on not what you think about, but how you think about it. Okay. And how I do that is I give you, which is number 2, some practical step-by-step approaches and strategies for your dreams, goals, aspirations, and problems. Okay. We will face that shit head on and deal with it head on. Okay. So if you're thinking that people just gonna sit around giving you platitudes all day, it's not gonna happen. Here's the thing, I don't guarantee anything, but I do promise something. I will never ask you to tell you to do something that, number 1, I have not already done myself. Number 2, I'm not currently doing or not willing to do myself. And number 3, that I'm not willing to go do with you. So if you talk to me about a dream, a goal, an aspiration, a problem, I'm gonna try to work that shit out with you. Right? I'm not gonna do it for you, but I'll do it with you. Okay? All right, let's move on. Before we get started, please go grab yourself a pen pad or whatever you need to get focused tonight. Because tonight we're going to talk about some good stuff. We're going to be talking about building the gaps in our self confidence. So if you need to go grab some snacks, some drinks, blankets, snuggie, please come with an open mind. Walkie talkie, or my boy Jerry's case, reading glasses, go grab them. Okay? Grab them. You do whatever you need to do to get ready. Repetition. I talk about this every time that we get started. Tonight's no different. Repetition is key, ladies and gents. Anything worth knowing, learning, studying, teaching, or understanding revolves around one word: repetition. 90 to 95% of your thinking is governed automatically by your unconscious mind. So that means all the shit that you do every day, the thinking that you do every day, everything you do constantly is repetitive, right? Even those negative thoughts you have are competitive. So my job is not the what, it's the how. Okay? All right, let's keep moving. Please ask as many questions as you possibly can. Don't worry, I got a bunch of questions loaded up for you. So I'll ask some questions and then you can ask some back. And if you need to disagree with me, you're more than welcome to. As a matter of fact, I love it if you would. I mean, I'm just saying. All right, here's our cheat sheet for tonight. Please grab a pen and paper and write this shit down or screenshot it. We're going to learn how to silence our inner critic, stack small wins daily, which again, we talk about that a lot. Reframe failure as feedback. Okay. Stop comparing, start creating, and act before you feel ready. And in the end, we have a bonus one for you. Hence, that's why there's 6. You have, before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to what we're doing, I can't get started unless I hear actually 2 words. See, ladies and gentlemen, I don't feel good unless I hear those 2 words, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get started, can I get a hell yeah? Can I get my hell yeah? What is it? Thank you, Renita. Thank you, Jer Bear. Where are we at? Miss Anya, Mr. Datey, Angie, there we are. Thank you, dear. There it is. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you oh so kindly. I mean, you just said hell, Chris. But that's fine. What is it? 1 out of 2 ain't bad. I'm okay with that. 3 Dog Night saying that, I believe. 3 Dog Night. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. All right, guys, let's get started. So tonight we're talking about the 6 simple steps to fill in those confident gaps. Right? Here's the thing. We let's go. Fuck it. Come on. Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, I got the fun facts. I got them done. Okay. Okay, can you guys see everything? I need to make sure y'all can see everything. Oh, please. Let me switch my stuff. Oh, yeah, it's should be okay. Should be okay. Hold on. Let me make it a little bigger. I just want to make sure everybody can see everything. Okay, y'all good? All right, so question number 1. What voice is running in your head? And is it even yours? What voice is running in your head? And is it even yours? And we're talking about silencing that inner critic, right? When we talk about building our self-confidence, I think everybody except for you, Rebecca, has that chitter chatter in their head. I can't wait to actually, Rebecca, you still need to get with me to give me the information on what your thing is called, where you don't hear or see images like the rest of us do. I would love to understand that a little bit more. I would love to understand that. But is the voice in your head running when it's sitting there talking all that mess to you? Is it yours or somebody else's? Now, again, I know we've talked about this before, but it don't matter. I'm talking about it now. So when I hear my voice, it's my voice that I hear. So I'm going to say, yes, mine. Right? So when I hear those voices, that chitter chatter, that shit talking in my head, it ain't nobody else's voice, it's my voice. You know what I mean? It's my voice that I hear. So what say you guys? What say you guys? What about you, Angie? Is it your voice or is it somebody else's? What about you, Jessica? Renita says, oh, okay, hold on. Oh, Chris said, I think mine. Okay, Chris, do you know it's yours or do you think it's yours? And I'm really asking because it's important. Jessica says it's hers. Okay. She says mine sometimes, but I also hear other voices too. Okay. Okay, and it happens that way, right? He said I have a four members in my head. You know what? Some people do. I'm just throwing it out there. Some people do. As you said, mine. Okay, cool. So if your inner talk became that outer speech, would you still respect yourself? Hey, what's going on, Melissa? So if that inner talk became outer speech or outer talk, would you still respect yourself? So what I mean by that is if somebody else was saying the same stuff to you that you say to you, same exact voice, same exact message, would you respect what's coming out of their mouths? So would you let somebody say the things that you say to yourself to you? I would really like to know that. Melissa said, fuck no. That's what I'm talking about. Melissa said, fuck no. I would agree. I listen, I would listen, man, I love my mama. But I would when I hit a certain age, I wouldn't even let her talk crazy to me. But we're not doing that. I mean, I'm going to respect you no matter what, but that respect has to be reciprocated. Period. It got to be reciprocated. So, what about you, Jerry? Would you let somebody talk to you like that? What about you, Rebecca? What about you, Miss Renita? Would you let somebody sit there and talk to you crazy? As you said, it depends on the person. We're not doing that. If you talk to if the things you say to you, somebody else was saying to you, you telling me that you wouldn't check that? And I'm not saying that you got to be disrespectful. Because when I was talking to my mama, your sister, I was never disrespectful. Never. But there's a certain boundary that I'm not going to let somebody cross on me. Period. Period. I don't care who you are. We can talk to each other respectfully. We can even disagree respectfully. She okay, right. So therefore you're not gonna let somebody else talk to you like that either. Okay. Mr. Jerry said, hell no. Mr. Honky said, I agree. I work for the post office. Tell my supervisor off for talking to me and got canned. Chris, I'm starting to like you more and more, bro. You're weird as shit, but I'm really starting to like you more and more. And Miss Anya, I know you wouldn't let somebody talk to you crazy. I know that. I've s- I've seen the bullying shit you do to people. That's crazy talk, right? So again, when we talk about that filling in those confidence gaps, y'all, this is kind of what we're talking about. We're talking about building, filling in those gaps where we are. That's all we're doing. We're just filling it in. I'm not telling you that you're gonna walk off and you're gonna be, you know, the superhero of confidence. No, it doesn't work like that. But when we sit around letting people just walk all over us, that shit's gonna happen. Sorry. You gotta say something. Remember, we talked about that. Remember, you gotta open your mouth. You gotta say something. So, what are our bullets? Name the voice, right? Name the voice. Challenge the narrative. So, whose voice is it? And challenge what they're saying to you, right? And I gotta do that sometimes myself. I have to do that sometimes myself. Uh, uh, if I wanted to do something brand new, man, I gotta talk myself into doing it. And then eventually I stop talking and I just hit that button and go. Right? Remember when we started, man? I got it somewhere around here. Hold on. Y'all remember this? 15 days, 15 minutes, 15 pieces. I still keep this on me. This is what got us started on this. Today's what, day 47? 47 straight days. No days off. Right? You know how many times I done said to myself, man, take a break. And the other part of me said, nah, I can't. I already gave my word. So my word means more to me. Think about that than discomfort, than being comfortable. My word means more to me than just being comfortable. I'm not doing that, right? And replace that criticism with a conscious correction. What do we mean by that? That if you're challenging that narrative, replace it with something positive. Even if it's not, it could just be, bro, it ain't that bad. Or bro, chill on this one. Pick your battles. Chill on this one. Go to the next one. You know? Have you guys ever had to say that to yourself? Give me a yes or no. Have you guys actually had to say that to yourself where you had to, I mean, you may not necessarily hear the voice or name that voice like I'm showing you now, but challenge that narrative and replace that criticism with something positive. And if it's not positive, at least make sure that it's less demeaning. Like that's another reason why I don't blow trees. I say the most horrible things to myself when I'm elevated. Horrible things to myself. That's why I don't do it. That's why I don't. I would love to partake in the greeneries. I would love to partake in it. But there's another part of me that don't like that at all. And that individual, which is in my voice, says the most hurtful, harmful things to me. That's crazy talk, y'all. That's why I'm not elevated. I gotta read a book to get to feel that. I gotta be alone to feel that. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Right? Maybe weird for me, you know. I don't know. All right, so number two, stack small wins daily. And again, we've talked about this before. Where have you underestimated your own progress? And I'm really asking y'all this time. I want you to tell me something. Where have you underestimated your own progress? Tell me something that you've done where you were like, "Damn, I was good at this," and you weren't just good at it; you were above average at this. Give it to me. I'll wait. I need at least three answers. Jessica, you better be one of them. Melissa, I know you fucking better be one of them. And Renita, oh my God, the shit I've seen you do. Come on now, stop playing. Come on now. Okay, your job, perfect. Your job, okay. Melissa said my job, okay. You you underestimated yourself, and then you blew that out of the water. Miss Anya said nothing right now, not that she knows of. Miss Anya, how many times did you say that you tried to make something and then you went back and you remade it when you didn't even know how to do it the first time? You know how to make sweaters, you now make blankets, you know how to make socks, you know how to make your own clothes. Don't tell me that you don't know. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'm with you all the time, so I know. Come on now. Yes, you do. My presage. Persons, well, I don't, what is that? What about you, Jerry? Rebecca? Especially with you working with them kids? Come on, I know you got something. Jerry, you are a fireman and an EMT. Come on now. Give me something. Like I said, y'all, the days of me just sitting there talking my shit, no. I'm involving y'all in my shit talking. Oh, my personality. Okay. And that's what I'm talking about. Yes. Rebecca, you see this? Miss Anya? Socks are hard as hell. And getting them to match is a bitch. But Anya does it. At one time, Anya didn't know how to do none of that. Anya didn't know how to do any of it. She would take a break and she would come back. She would take a break and she would come back. She would just keep doing that until one day she calls me up and said, "Hey, I made some socks. Perfect." And she had them on her boyfriend's feet. If you go to her Instagram page, which is Hanging with Anya, you'll see a picture of her feet on Chris with socks that she made. Come on now. I don't know who Jennifer is. Actually, I think we're friends now. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome to Axe Fearless. I am the life coach for the evening, host and facilitator. Today, we're talking about 6 simple steps to fill in our confidence gap. So, if we're having any issues in confidence, we're kind of talking about filling in those gaps to kind of build ourselves up. So, matter of fact, now that I don't know you, has there ever been a time where you have underestimated your own progress? I don't care what it is. Give me something. Matter of fact, let's give Jennifer a round of applause for even showing up. Because most people don't even do that. Let's give her a round of applause for showing up. Ah, most people don't even do that. Bam, that's what I'm talking about right there. Be the superhero that my son needs. Okay, so let me ask you, because here, uh, Jennifer, we go deep with stuff. This is not a superficial thing by no means. What does being a superhero mean to you? What does being a superhero mean? Here's the thing, if I didn't ask you, somebody in here would have asked. That's what I'm talking about. There it is. I'm leaving an abusive relationship and raise my son up above all the ugliness. That's what I'm talking about. Man, can we give this woman a round of applause? Remember, isn't one of the things that we talk about uh exiting a relationship, when to leave and that when to leave versus when to stay loyal, versus when to speak up, versus when to just ignore the situation. Before you decided to leave the situation, and we're not gonna stay on it, Jennifer. I just want to ask you real fast, how long did you ignore the abuse before you decided to take action and leave? How long did you stay there until you decided enough was enough? And the reason why I'm asking is because we talk about this daily. I think Jerry had told me that you would be contacting me or whatever, so I was kind of prepared. He didn't tell me anything about you, but just, hey, this individual taking care of her, she's going to be probably popping up sometime. So I really want to understand not everything because we don't need to know it all right now. But how long did you ignore the situation before you decided to leave? Okay. She said she ignored, she was there 6 years. I thought the relationship is what kept me sober. Okay. Okay. Like I said, man, good job for walking away. Because I'm telling you, most people don't even do that. I think there's enough women in here and men, myself included, that have seen people in abusive relationships and they stay for a gambit of reasons. So the fact that you left, I take my hat off to you, ma'am. Good job. Okay, so our bullets are confidence is built in repetition. And again, remember, we're always talking about repetition, right? Everything's based off of repetition. The things that we do constantly. Now, here's the thing. I need you to hear this, and you can see it. Repetition. Here, let me make this a little bigger. Okay, give me a second. Hold on, hold on. Hold on, let me make this a little bigger. Hold on. Oops, hold on. Is that good enough? Okay. Is that good? Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so confidence is built in repetition, like we talk about, not perfection. One of the things I was talking to Melissa about today is that you ain't gotta be perfect when you step up to the plate. When you're talking to whomever you need to talk to about whatever you need to talk about, you can still remain respectful and still get your point across. You can still remain respectful um, and get your point across. Period. Right? She said that I was numbing myself and I lost my cravings. Okay. Back to my son. Thank you so much for the love. Yeah, for sure. For sure. You know, man, here's the thing. Our kids, they will allow us to grow if we allow them to. Or will they inspire us to grow if we kind of let down our guards to do that. But sometimes if you keep them up, we can't really do much because we're always in fight or flight mode, right? We're always in survival mode. So, like I said, man, I take my hat off to you. Congratulations and welcome to Axe Fearless. So again, we talked about this before too, guys. Momentum is louder than motivation. Momentum is louder than motivation. That basically means that, dude, as long as you put one foot in front of the other, that's all you need sometimes. You ain't got to be running to get anywhere. You can just walk, and it can be slow walks. Jerry says, shit, I got out and walked 15 minutes. Shit, that's all you need sometimes. That's way louder than being motivated. I would rather you be inspired and disciplined than because eventually you'll find the motivation. And you'll find motivation while you're walking. You're not going to find it before you walk. You find it while you're walking. As soon as you walk out the house and you go down the block a little bit, that's when motivation kicks in. But that same motivation kicks in when you turn that goddamn corner to go back home. Because you're motivated to go home, right? So motivation works both ways. But momentum says a lot more, right? All right, so fun fact time. Most confident people still feel fear. They just reframe it as being ready. So being nervous and excited activate the same part of the brain. Remember when we were talking about, I think with Jessica, we were talking about, because she was talking about being anxious. And remember when I said, when you think about being anxious, how do you feel? And she went into talking about what that meant. She talked about all the feelings she felt, like your heart starts racing, you start getting sweaty, this and the other, your mind starts racing, all this other stuff, right? Well, right, but when you think about excitement, the same exact thing happens. Your heart starts beating, your mind starts racing, you start getting sweaty a little bit. Nervous and excitement activate the same part of the brain, which physiologically represents the same part of your your actual body as well, right? It does the same shit, all of it, right? That's how you can cry tears of sadness and tears of joy. Same piss coming out your face, right? It's just the the reason or the rationale you're crying, right? The reason. That's it. That's the only thing that differentiates what you're crying for. Sad or love, right? That's it. Okay. How many of you guys knew that by say I if you knew that already? So, and then the other thing I wanted to kind of talk about in this is, like I tell you guys, before I start doing this, I'm nervous as hell, y'all. When it hits 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:15, 8:20, 8:25, I'm nervous. I am nervous. I'm nervous. I promise you, I'm nervous. Certified life coach, no, all them certifications, scared as shit still. The only thing that I do differently is I hit the button and do it anyway. Because once I hit that, once I see that thing turn to go live, something else takes over and I'm good to go. But and I don't know if it's fear or just anticipation. I gotta look inside myself and figure that out. Right? But I get nervous. And we've been doing this, what, 47 days now in a row. 47 days. Okay. All right. So number 3, reframe failure as feedback. So my question to you is here. I don't know if you can. Here, I'm gonna just make them bigger. Give me a second here. Okay. What story have you attached to your last setback? What story have you attached to your last setback? And I actually need an answer. No. Angie, like I said, once I get started, once I hit that button, I'm not nervous at all. But before I go on, oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous. And again, I don't know if it's nervous or just the jitters. You know, like just being anxious, excited. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I gotta figure that out myself. Right? Or talk to other YouTubers and ask them. You know? I remember this one guy said though, he said everybody will figure their own thing out once they figure it out. It's kind of plateauish. He said that basically you'll get the run of it when you get the run of it. If that makes sense. Who was it? Billy Joel? I don't know if it was Billy Joel. No, it was Rod Stewart. Thank God everybody, well, except for Jessica, probably doesn't know who he is. But he's that guy that's saying, if you want my body and you think I'm sexy, that dude. He said for like years, because he's a tiny little guy, he would stand behind these big, huge speakers when he was singing because he was always nervous and scared. And eventually, he's out just dancing around and doing all kinds of stuff, whatever. Michael Jackson said that the only place he felt comfortable was on stage in front of people. He said it was when he wasn't on stage, is when he was nervous. This man performed for millions constantly. But just being in a room full of a couple people is what made him nervous. Ain't that crazy? Right? So, what story have you attached to your last setback? Oh, thank you. I got one. Thanks, Jess. Okay, so I'm trying to furniture flip part-time out of my garage. Recently, I had a mouse infestation in the garage, and I guess I've used my fear of mice as my excuse to stay out of my garage. Jessica, I don't think that I can ask you any other question that would I couldn't have put that perfect myself. I don't even think Chat GPT could have put that better by writing that. That was perfect. 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 So I guess the real question you'd have to ask yourself is what's preventing you from just doing it? Right? Why haven't you just done it? Right? And what part of the process are you making excuses for? Is it is it staging? Is it doing the work? Is it staining? Is it sanding? What part is it that's preventing you from just doing what needs to be done? Mice and all. I mean, dude, if you got a mouse infestation, put on some shoes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I would do. But that's just me, right? What about the rest of y'all? What story have you attached to your last setback? Somebody give me something. Jerry, Renita, give me something. What story? Matter of fact, Angie, let me get something from you. Because I haven't seen you here in a little while. Let's go. You've been slacking. I know you're in school, but you can still make way for your nephew. Give me something. What story have you attached to your last setback? And hurry up, time is a ticking, ma'am. Renita said, I'm thinking. Renita, come on now, dear. Don't play. What story? Renita, remember we were talking about money? Remember money versus resources? Money versus resources and becoming resourceful? That was the story that you attached to your last setback. Oh, Melissa dug a little deep on me. Oh. So, Jerry, the question that I'm at, and thank you for asking that, Jerry. The question that I'm asking is, what story have you attached to your last setback? So basically what I'm saying is most of us we have something that we want to do, but we probably stop doing it. And there's a reason why we stop doing it. So whatever that story that you gave yourself to why you just stopped doing it, what's that thing? So in your case, being a firefighter, and I'm assuming getting back on to the force. Okay. So what are you doing? Or has there been something or a story that's been preventing you from taking that step to getting back on the force? Or does it have anything to do with you? Because if it has nothing to do with you, then that's one thing. Or we can look at going for a walk or going to the gym. What story do you have that's been preventing you from going to the gym? That story, which we talked about a couple days ago, was what was it? Gymitidation? Gymitidation. Is that what it was? So that would be your story for your last setback. Now, right now, we talked about it. You're gonna go out twice a week, just twice a week, and go walking. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm asking. And I technically already answered your question. So there you go. There it is. Angie said studying to reapply for nursing school. Okay. Okay. Ah, okay. Okay. So have you not been studying or you are studying now, Angie? Okay, so working out today, he hurt his leg super bad and it's swollen as shit. Okay. Okay. Not a problem, buddy. Right. Nope, I totally understand that. I get it. I get it. Now, here's the thing. If it comes to walking in again, Jerry, I'm not harping by no means or whatever. But again, being what I am, the reason why I read so many books is because I love perspective. And I used to watch a lot of documentaries and stuff, but um, do you remember Jake the Snake Roberts from WWF? One of the things that he did was there was a guy by the name of Diamond Dallas Page who was a wrestler too, and Diamond Dallas Page has always been in tip top shape, health, all that stuff, whatever. And he started helping other guys that lost their confidence, that were athletes at one time, and for some reason just gave up in general. He started this thing, and I urge you to watch it. He started doing this thing with Jake the Snake Roberts and got him in like the best shape of his life. Right? He had a bunch of different ailments and stuff going on, or whatever. But the one thing that he said that I truly thought about, I'm like, man, that's a really good idea. Is he said you can always do something. For you, you may not be able to walk it out right now. Cool. You know, do some shadow boxing while you're sitting down. You know what I'm saying? Back up, go forward. Back up. You see what I'm saying? And that was the one thing that he kept harping on was we can always do something. Anything other than nothing. Right? Something's always better than nothing. Remember when we talk about taking those first steps? Remember what I told y'all? Just take any step. It don't matter big or small. Do anything. Kick a rock. At least that'll move you forward. You know, when Rebecca walks in, I high five her. When the kids walk in, play patty cake for a while. But we can always do something to move that needle. Yeah, if you get what I'm saying. So I mean, if you can't walk, bro, I don't want you hurting yourself. But do something, anything, even if it's what that Stuart Scott raise the roof, listen to some music, do a little bit of that, do a little bit of something, any fucking thing. Just there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Uh, that's what I'm talking about. Hell yes. That's all I'm saying, buddy. That's all I'm saying. Mr. Christopher Dady said, feeling comfortable where I was made afraid to make this next step. Of course. Unfortunately, man, that's the drawback of getting where you want to go is you start getting complacent. Jessica and I was just talking about this not long ago. Huh? You make so much money doing one thing, you think, oh, I'm cool. Right? And then what happened? Yes, yes. Folding laundry too. Because at least it's moving you. Right? But doing something, nobody. But getting complacent, that's not where we want to be. Right? And as long as you're breathing, there's work to be done. I'm not telling you not to take a break. I'm just saying, come on, man, we got work to do. Okay. What did that last failure teach you? What did that last failure teach? For you, Jerry, that means that, hey, you got to go extra slow. You got to go extra slow. Or instead of you getting up and walking, maybe y'all get some of them bands or whatever, and you just stretch your legs out that way. You stretch your legs out that way, right? Grab them, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that, right? Just do a little bit of something. Anything. Like the wifey says, shit, and that faux laundry. You know, we can always do something. Okay? But I'm asking y'all, what did that last failure teach you? I know for myself, the last thing that I tried that I failed at was, matter of fact, getting this started. Getting this started. I've been wanting to do this for 10 years, y'all. And all I would do is sit around making excuses for why I couldn't do it. Oh, I'm still trying to learn this. Oh, I'm still just recording. Why y'all think I stopped recording? Why you think I went live? I don't record anything. Everything I do is live. Everything. But there's also a reason for it. Because I suck at recording stuff. Like, I'd rather just put it out and be done with it. I'll let somebody else deal with the editing and all that stuff. I don't want to deal with all that. I'd rather just put the information out. Okay? But then not only that, but it also holds me accountable right then and there. And if I mess up, you can see it live. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything I do is one take. One take. Oh, here we go. There you go. Got one. It taught me not to worry. Just do what I can. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Melissa, you have anything? What is talking to that person today taught you? What is talking to that person today taught you? I mean, Jerry, I love with your thing or whatever. It's like, yeah, we can do something. Anything. Miss and so Melissa says that I can do things even if it makes me nervous. Isn't that the truth, dear? That I can do things even if it makes me nervous. Yeah, that's all it is. Was it difficult for you to do? Once you put yourself in that position to do it, was it hard? Was it difficult? Christopher said, be more patient. Thank you. Okay. What about you, Jessica? What did failure try to teach you? Melissa said, yeah, it was at first, but once I got started, it was easy as fuck. Yep. Sometimes telling people how you feel, man, the the hardest part about most of the stuff that we do is the anticipation of doing it. Jennifer, you still with us? I wanted to ask her if she thought that was if that was true for her. That it the leaving, you know what I'm saying, is sometimes, man, that might be the easiest part. The hardest part about leaving situations like that one is the anticipation before you do it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're with a person for however long, thinking about, okay, well, what do I need to do within myself to get ready for this? You see what I'm saying? So it's almost like when we talk about change, yeah, I want to change this situation, I want to change that. Change within itself does not take a long period of time. Change happens instantly. It's all the shit that comes before it that takes the longest time. Preparing to change is what takes a long time. But change itself does not take a long time. It's very simple. Okay. So our bullets are feedback is growth for our GPS system. And it basically tells you that, hey, this is where I am. This is where I'm going. That's it. Reframing revolves around Reframing revolves shame from mistakes. Removes shame from mistakes. Um, so when so when we talk about that, reframing, it removes all that shame from actually doing it. So if when I mess up, I'm like, no, I messed up, yes, but this is good because it allows me not to do it again, right? So if I mess up on something, that's perfect, wonderful. Let's keep moving, right? That's what it teaches me. All right, so number 4, stop comparing, start creating. Here, let me make it bigger for you. Oops. Okay, there we go. So questions. Who are you measuring yourself up against and why? Do you guys ever notice that you do that? Measure where we're always comparing ourselves to other people. If you think about some of the goals that you have, dreams that you have, right? Even some of the problems that we have, some of our problems are even measured and compared to somebody else. Most of them, they're even started by other people. We just carry them on as our own, which is weird, but it's something that we do, right? Who are you? And I'm really asking this, who do you guys measure yourself up against? Who do you measure yourself up against? And remember, y'all, we talking about the 6 simple steps of filling in those gaps, those confidence gaps, right? But with that confidence, we tear ourselves down. And what I'm asking is, who are we comparing ourselves to, right? Who do we compare ourselves to when we're doing this to ourselves, right? What about you, Renita? Who do you compare yourself to, or who are you measuring yourself up against, and why? So when you talk about wanting to build your pie thing or whatever, okay. So let me ask you. So again, it doesn't always mean a bad thing to somebody else. Sometimes it's also a future you that you haven't necessarily connected with as well. So like when I thought about me doing what I'm doing right now, I had to I measure myself against myself, if that makes any sense. Because there's a future me that I knew was out there that I wanted to become years ago. So when I was creating that guy out there, the guy that I am at that point wasn't him. So I had to step into him. I had to grow into that guy, right? So a lot of what I did was measure myself against the man that I wanted to become. Why did I do it? To try to get as better as to try to be as the best man that I could possibly be within the resources that I had. So I don't always mean that in a negative um connotation. You know, you have dreams of being of selling pies, of creating some of your art, knitting. I mean, that which is just stuff that you like to do. Generally, you're also a writer, a director, an author. I mean, come on, you've done all kinds of different things. You obviously saw somebody writing a book and thought, damn, you know what? That'd be kind of good to do that. You hadn't written a book yourself, but you saw somebody else do it. So you decided, you know what? I'm gonna do that too. So we're not talking about that as just a negative thing. Does that make sense, guys? Let me get a hell yeah. If that makes sense. Donald? Okay. So Donald. Perfect. I don't know Donald, but Donald. What about you, Jerry? Donald Goings. Okay, who is that? Do I Oh yeah. Okay, perfect. Oh, okay, the writer. Oh shit, I know who he is. I got a couple of his books. He's the black dude, right? What he wrote a book? God damn it, I just read one of his books not that long ago. Jerry said, "My father." Okay, awesome. So you compare yourself to that. Okay, he inspired me to see. Again, comparing yourself to somebody else or measuring yourself up against it, but not in a negative way, because it doesn't always have to be negative. But he inspired you to do something. Perfect. That's great. Y'all listen, when I'm asking y'all questions, it's not a trick question. There's no right or wrong answer. I just want to know where you guys are coming from. That's all. That's all. Doing what I do right now, I, I saw this dude, Tony Robbins, and that inspired me. And but the guy that I really loved was his mentor, which is an old little dude named Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is the reason why y'all see all them books behind me. It wasn't Tony Robbins, it was Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is the one who said he said every man, woman, and child needs to invest in their own personal library. In that library, you need to have two types of books. You need to have books on the heights that man has become or where he's going. And then the other type of books, how low a man can sink. And you need to have everything in between it. That's the reason why I got all those books behind me. It's because of Jim. I love the enthusiasm of Tony Robbins, but I love the simplicity of Jim Rohn. Loved the simplicity of him. Right. So if I wanted to be, if like matter of fact, I even wrote my speeches the way that Jim would write his, not the way that Tony Robbins, the ha ha rah rah rah, all that stuff would write his stuff. I wrote my stuff to match his energy. Just throwing it out there, right? But no, that's what's up. I love that. So would you? So would hold on? Okay, people are talking to me. Hold on. Sorry about that. What would your life look like if you focus fully on your lane? If you focus on all what you wanted to do. So Jessica, that's asking you if all you focus on right now was furniture flipping. What would your life look like if that's all you focus on? Renita, what would your life look like if all you focus on was pies? If that's all you put everything else aside and just focused on that. That was it. That was all. Right? Just asking. Jared, what about you? Getting back on the force? If that's a thing, what would life look like? What would life look like if that's all you focus on, nothing else? I love these answers. Jessica said, "Oh, that's a good question. Okay, answer it, please." I love Renita's answer. I'll be bored as hell. I get it. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. I love that. Right? Because your mind is all over the place. Right? I love that for you. What about you, Jerry? What about you, Rebecca? If all y'all focus on was that one thing, what would life look like? He said that would be the pinnacle of my career. Okay. I have ADHD. I don't have a lane. I have multiple eight. I have multiple 8 lane high freeways. Okay. I totally understand that. And I think that Renita is right up there with you. Because Renita is the same exact way. Are you not? Stop playing. All right, so our bullets are comparison is a thief dressed as inspiration. Y'all see that? Comparison is a thief dressed as inspiration. It's a thief. It can steal your joy, right? Create more than you consume. Create more than you consume, right? I mean, look at what Renita does. She gets an idea and just jumps out there and go does it, right? Jessica's whole thing is to flip furniture and stuff. We had to have one of them come to Jesus conversations a day or so ago. I think we talked about it today or yesterday. You know, I'm just saying, no. If I gotta get out here and put my shit out on the line, so do you. I cannot have people around me that are just I don't want to say stuck. I do not want people around me that are just willing to settle. I can't have that no more. I'm not settling. So by proxy, you can't settle. Period. And I'm talking about if you're around me, like my vicinity. Like if you over there, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you do what you do. Because if I can't see it, then I can't coach it. But if I see it, I gotta say something, right? Just throwing that out there. All right, fun fact time. All right, people with high self confidence make more mistakes but recover faster. Confidence doesn't stop failure, it just makes you a lot less afraid of it. Isn't that what I just told y'all? People with high confidence, but literally, man, I'm telling you, I love making mistakes and I make them fast. I was talking to my buddy Brian that I do the Trial and Error podcast. We were talking about that. He said, Fearless, he said, bro, you have almost a year's worth of you've put together a year's worth of material within a very short period of time. He said most podcasters in general do not create every single day. They might post something daily, but doing what you do daily usually does not happen. That's like some Joe Rogan type shit. And even he has another guest on with him, sometimes two or three guests. But he said, what you're doing, a daily thing, coaching, answering questions, and training, and they're all different trainings, bro, that's unheard of. So you guys are literally watching the making of something. I have no idea what the end result's even gonna be. I don't know. I can tell you I'm happy and I'm honored that y'all with me though. I can't tell you that. What did you say, Miss Renita? Oh, hold on. Miss Anya says, I would want to focus on YouTube videos full time, being a full time paranormal investigator and making my own projects. I want to have my own business. I want to sell that's, y'all see what I'm saying? Miss Anya, like, she about that business. Miss Anya is about that business. Renita said, I'm working on something new now that caught my interest. So I'm trying, I'm trying to execute it. Of course you are. She said I had to screenshot that fun fact. Perfect. Screenshot it. Screenshot it. I make more mistakes than most people. I promise you I do. I'm telling you, and I'm proud to make mistakes. I'm proud of it. Fail and fail quickly. All right, number 5. We only got 2 more left. Act before you're ready. Act before you're ready. I'm gonna make this a little bigger for you. Act before you're ready. Okay, we good? Hold on. All right, sorry about that. You should be good now. Right, act before you're ready. What have you been waiting to feel ready for? I don't know, maybe it's mice in your garage. I mean, we all have the mice in the garage thing, don't we? I'm talking shit. But what have you guys been ready to do that y'all just been waiting for? What have you been waiting to just feel ready? Like it's not the time yet. I don't know when the time is right. When what have you been waiting to do? Right? Trying to get that feeling. For me, it was this. What we're doing right here. I was always waiting for that right moment. Right? That right moment. What's the right moment? Never came. Well, I guess it did. Ironically, it did. Right? Meeting the right person at the right time who said the right thing that I needed to hear at the right moment. And now we're 40. Now we're 47 days in. 47. Okay. I've been waiting to do this. What have y'all been waiting for to feel ready for? Maybe it's not the mouse, the proverbial mouse in the garage. Maybe it's something else. What have you been waiting for the right moment to do? I'm really asking. I'm asking my team here, but I'm also asking y'all out there too. I'm also asking you guys out there too, because what everything shows me is that you guys, most of the people who are watching this, they usually watch when we're done. They usually watch when we're done. So I've been learning how to go into the algorithms and read all this stuff, whatever. But people usually read this stuff watch this when we're done. She said, all the things I'm doing right now is the things I've been waiting for. Okay. I've seen them. Thanks. Right. Right. Okay. What would happen again if you just started on those things now? And again, I know that we've talked about this before. I know it sounds repetitive because the shit is. But like I keep trying to tell y'all, all of this stuff is connected. All of it. All of it. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about problem solving. How much do you want to bet? Most of you don't even really truly know what the definition of a problem is. Y'all about to find out tomorrow. You gonna find out tomorrow. I guess waiting to have all the tools that would make the process easier. Okay, cool. So what happens if you just got started right now with what you have right now? Because if you don't have those tools, then you don't have those tools. But what happens when you get started right here, right now? Then what? See, that's what I'm asking. That's what I want to understand. That's what I want to know. Right? What happens when you just get started? Today, right now. Going out in your mouse infects the garage, put on some boots, and just get to work. What happens if you just did that? Get my first passport. Okay. Love that for you, Chris. Right, yeah, because Chris, you've been putting that off. Christopher finally went and applied to get his passport. Yeah, that's a congratulatory thing. Thank you. Good job, Christopher. Good job, man. right? And the rest of y'all, I mean, it's kind of like the same thing too, right? Like we all feel ready to do certain things until we don't, right? See, look at that. People congratulating you, Christopher. All right, so bullets. Action builds belief. Like we said, it's not just about those platitudes and things that we say, it's the actions that we take that build where we're going. That's what builds your confidence up. We can sit here and talk all day long about what needs to happen, but until you're doing it, it's never going to work because it's just up here. It's not until you're doing it that it's going to make um, all the, all of the, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry. My brain just went blank. It's when you're doing it that it makes all the, what word am I looking for? Rebecca, what word am I looking for? It's not our action, right? I mean, you can talk about it, but unless you're doing it, it doesn't do what? What word am I looking? It just went blank in my head. He said, "I don't know. You don't know till you try." All right, I'll go with that one, Christopher. Chris said, "I don't know. I don't know. You know, you never know until you try." I'll go with that one. That works. Readiness comes after movement, not before. Again, think about that. Readiness comes after movement. He said, "My brownie's broken too." That's cool. Readiness comes after movement, not before. What do I mean? That's the same thing when I tell you about motivation. You discipline comes before motivation. You're never going to be motivated for the most part to do something. Inspired, yes. Motivated, no. Most runners are not motivated to go run. Inspired, yes. Disciplined, yes. But motivated, not at all. Think about that. Most people who go to the gym don't even like going to the gym. They don't like working out. Muhammad Ali used to say, I hated training, but I love being a champion. See what I mean? That's what that means. Readiness comes after. Readiness comes after movement, not before. Do something, there you go. Comes after that, not before it. Okay? All right. Last one, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so speak like you believe it. Speak like you believe it. How many of us how many of us have that negative chitter chatter and that negative chitter chatter be saying some shit, right? So how do your words reinforce your self-doubt or your self-worth? Think about that, right? How do your words reinforce self-doubt or your self-worth? How does it reinforce it? When I started on here, I was that negative self-doubt, it hit me. What if nobody shows up? What if nobody cares? What if you run out of shit to talk about? What if you get on here and start stuttering and shit, right? What if somebody knocks on the door? What if somebody's late with your pizza? What if this happens? What if that happens? Right? I went through all those things. And most of the time, y'all was here with me when I was going through it. But we still got through it, though, yes? Can I get a hell yeah? Did we all get through it together? And we're still here, riding together, right? So your words are going to reinforce either self-doubt or your self-worth. That choice is all yours. Okay? That choice is yours. So what would you change if you spoke to yourself like somebody that you loved? I once heard a man say, I like to talk to myself like a kid. Who's an asshole to children? Besides Rebecca when she going in on them kids. I joke. But I'm just saying though, man, sometimes you gotta talk to yourself like that. You gotta talk to yourself lovingly. It's like, oh man, you bless your heart. You tried, you know you ain't shit. Good job though. Good job, buddy. Right? How many of y'all would love to talk to yourself? Matter of fact, let me ask you, how many of y'all say I or said I think that we all get down on ourselves. I know we know that. I want you to say I if you're okay. She said I made them kids cry again today. Listen, Rebecca, fuck it. You gotta do what you gotta do. If they listen, they listen. If they don't, they gonna catch the wrath of the Baker tribe. You feel me? Hey, it is what it is. But all I'm saying is this. Let me get an eye if you would love to be a little nicer to yourself. A little kinder to yourself. A little bit more lenient with yourself. Because here's the thing. Truth of the matter is we are our own worst enemy. That we are our own worst enemy. Our own worst. Give me an eye that you like to be a little nicer to yourself. A little bit more patient with yourself. Because if we had kids, we would do it with them, wouldn't we? Why would we not do it with ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Here, I'll go second. Jerry went before me. Hi. Right? What are our bullets? Our bullets said, confidence is heard before it's seen. Confidence is heard before it's seen. I've met people like that. You can say, you ever meet somebody where confidence just exudes out of them? Like pus on a zit. They can't do nothing without their confidence just reigning supreme all over you. You can smell how good their cologne smell, and they ain't even wearing cologne. They wearing confidence. Huh? Oh my God, you smell amazing. What is that? Confidence. Just saying. Your language is your leadership. What comes out of your mouth is what's going to happen. Jokingly or not, what comes out of your mouth is going to happen. I need you to hear me in that. What comes out of your mouth will happen. So you got to be very cautious on what you talk about. Whatever you talk about, you're going to bring about. Miss Anya, she like that ghost shit. Ghosts and investigating, hunting and stuff. Boy, you better quit playing around. Right? Whatever you talk about you're going to bring about. I'm telling you. All right, so our last fun fact. Confidence is more action driven than talent based. The brain builds belief by doing, not by waiting to feel ready. You see that? The brain builds belief by doing things, not by feeling ready. Confidence is more about what you do, not who and what you are. What are you doing? What are you bringing to the table? Are you stepping up? Just asking. All right, here's our bonus real quick before we get out of here. Which ones did you guys, which ones talk to you the most? I'm gonna for sure say 6 for me. I gotta say it. 6, 5 for sure. 2 and 1. Okay, I like them all. Number 3 was all right. Number 2, yeah, I like that one too. So that's what I'll go with. Yeah, I don't really compare myself to other people. I just start shit. But I mean, I still like it because I created it. But okay. Oh shit, Jerry said 1, 2, 3, and 5. What about you, Rebecca? What about you? Excuse me, Renita. What about you, Jessica? Which ones you like? Miss Renita said 1, 2, and 5. Jerry said 1, 2, 3, 5. Some dude named Fearless said 6, 5, 2, and 1. Skipping 3 and 4. Angie said 1. Okay. Damn, Angie, you was quiet. I didn't even know you were still with me. Okay, 1 and 2, says Miss Jessica. Okay, wonderful. I love it. I love it. Well, without further ado, thank you guys so much. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about problems. I assure you, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Okay? Without further ado, please get some good night rest, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, when you sleep, and I hope you do, I want you to dream big. Okay? As Miss Angie would say, bye.